An absolute overnight shock in the race between, wrong graphic, and again, wrong graphic. In the race between Biden and Trump, do you have any idea what just occurred? What maneuver was just made that goes to illustrate everything you see here just changed? It is amazing how many don't realize it. And is it time to panic? Well, that's the question I'm going to ask you at the end of this broadcast, because everything in election 2024 has just changed. I want to welcome all of you back to the broadcast. Can't thank you enough for being here today. If you haven't subscribed to Lisa's channel, or you think you're subscribed, please double check for me. If you're new here, please make sure you subscribe. Make sure your bell is checked to all so you're alerted to upcoming broadcasts. If you haven't subscribed to my channel, she'll put a link just above. Please click on it. Only takes a second. There is so many news stories coming out today. Not sure if Lisa will be here or if she'll be at Restricted Republic for the second story. Major development in Texas. She's going to give you the interpretation of exactly what that means. If you haven't been to Restricted Republic yet, right now, very special discount. Actually, I'm going to give you something for free and a discount on top of it. Click in the description box below. Using your YouTube credentials, you can log right in and see videos that Lisa and I have prepared just for you. Absolutely no cost whatsoever. If you like what you see, you want to see the remainder of today's stories, then go ahead and use discount code. You ready for this? Trump 2024. Again, Trump 2024 in monthly checkout. It's going to get you $5 a month, not for one, not two, but 3 years for free, plus 14 days on top of the login below that will allow you to go ahead and check out if you even like the platform to begin with. I know you will once you're there. That is a very special offer Lisa and I put together to prepare you for what's about to happen. But now let's get back to this broadcast. Start by watching the bouncing ball. It's been in front of you the entire time. This on the New York Times, election 2024 update. Two top Biden aides are taking the reins of his re-election campaign. Jennifer O'Malley Dillon being one of them. Do you know who she is? If you do, you'll be able to start painting this picture together. I'll give you a hint. That's right, one of Obama's closest aides. When did this change happen? Shortly after Obama, who's now worried about Trump, obviously Michelle worried about Trump too, urges Biden's circle to bolster the campaign. I don't think that is exactly what was discussed, however, in my opinion. The former president shared his thoughts about the re-election campaign during a private lunch with Biden at the White House. Shortly thereafter, guess who is put in charge of his campaign? It appears everything's moving forward. This on radar. Barack and Michelle Obama convinced bumbling Joe Biden, 81, has lost his grip ahead of the election. New report now states. Incredible. Joe seems almost oblivious to the lack of excitement about his campaign and cratering approval rating because Joe just thinks he should run. Joe thinks he's doing a great job. Joe believes he is the only man for the job. It is something the Democrats now face, and they are worried about how to handle Joe. Recent polls show a scant 38% of Americans approve of his performance, with a whopping 58% holding a negative opinion of his work. The only one who doesn't realize that is Joe Biden. And some would argue Kamala Harris. We'll get there in a moment. Meanwhile, Trump, 77, has seized the lead in some national polls, despite being under indictment, of course, of 91 charges, blah, blah, blah. They always say the same storyline. The Obamas are convinced Joe lost his grip, an insider confided. He looks more feeble and clueless every day, and they know he's lost the confidence of the public. Interesting statement. Democrats are saying, don't panic. The Obamas are saying, don't panic. But how can you not panic? Oh, that's right. He has Kamala Harris defending him right now.
November of 2024, binary. And on the other side, you've got someone who has said that if he were back in office, he would weaponize the Department of Justice. Someone who has said that they will go after their political enemies.
But why even say something that many believe you're doing? But that is who is defending Biden, and it's getting weaker by the moment. But don't worry, Nancy Pelosi came in to defend Biden also.
Well, let me just say I'm not going to spend too much time on Donald Trump's cognitive disorders. But what I am going to say, and I want to, in friendship, say to Chris, he tried to say that Nikki Haley did not allow the National Guard to come, but it was Nancy Pelosi. It was nobody. It was Joe. It was Donald Trump.
Whoa, little Freudian slip there. It was Joe. Nancy, stop trying to defend Joe, please. You're not helping him at all. Not going to spend too much time on Trump's cognitive disorders. What they face is what they declare others do. It is Democrat strategy 101. And don't worry, my friends, because obviously Joe faces no issues whatsoever.
We'll teach Donald Trump a valuable lesson. Don't mess with the women in America unless you want to get the benefit.
We're getting the benefit of America. No, there's no issues whatsoever. Can't see why the Obamas are so nervous. But if Kamala Harris can't help and Nancy Pelosi can't help, maybe CNN could help. They've always helped them before. Road to 270, they publish. Republicans 272, Democrats 225. Republicans declare an easy victor. Oh boy. I guess there is trouble. And remember, just a few days ago, the entire campaign strategy for, I almost said Obama, Biden changed. So what shall you do? What shall you do? You should threaten other states. That's what Joe Biden did. A 24-hour ultimatum. This is the story that Lisa will spin off on later with a whole lot more detail. It deserves a lot of attention, folks. A lot of attention. There is so many moving parts, but it's actually very black and white what Abbott's doing. And she's going to cover that for you. Can't wait to watch that story myself later. 25 Republican governors signing a letter now in support. Imagine Trump jumping in on it. And he is the centerpiece of the story because his world just changed. Barack Obama is telling Joe Biden to quit the 2024 race. PJ Media published this, according to inside sources. And how else do we know what's happening? Go to the gossip columnist, Cindy Adams at the New York Post, because she's already told you the game plan. Don't be shocked if Michelle Obama sneaks her way into the 2024 race. Remember what she said just a few weeks ago.
The things that keep me up because you don't have control over them. Mm-hmm. And you wonder, where are we in this? Where are our hearts? What's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen because our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that.
Who we select, probably not the wisest statement to make. But nonetheless, leaders matter. Everybody, she's talking about Trump. Well, in part she is. But is it possible she was talking about someone else also? And was it possible that she was already starting her little shadow campaign? So back to that New York Post gossip columnist. We heard this drumbeat for a while now. Now it's louder. Plans are to grab Michelle for the Democratic presidency choice. Making the music is Barack, the orchestra leader. Michelle says she's terrified Trump will win. No casual burp was programmed. She sent a survey to Dem biggies asking their feeling about her candidacy. Obama quietly angling for Joe to go. He weaseled up to this for a few weeks. Mouths aren't talking, but mouths are knowing. Over 1 year ago, summer of 2022, she was in New York City meeting several big head CEOs and said, I'm running and I'm asking for your support. And does that just so happen that Nikki Haley lost her biggest Democratic supporter right after the New Hampshire primary? Wonder where his money will be going now. I'm sure it's not going to Trump, as you know. Cruz has already warned what's coming. As a matter of fact, I'll read it. Democrats will parachute Michelle Obama in to replace Joe Biden for the 2024 election. According to Cruz, if by the time the Democratic National Convention in August, it ain't going to be August, Ted. Oh no, the New York Post slipped up again. It's much earlier than August. As Biden's mental diminishment worsens, as Cruz so stated, the Democrat kingmakers will then jettison Joe Biden and parachute in Michelle Obama. Many wouldn't argue with that anymore. But how close is it? And how much then changes for Donald Trump? It's a different race. You will see no more partisan coverage in the mainstream media, support of Michelle Obama like nothing you have ever seen before. You will see a machine fire up. There already is. Obama now rumored to be telling Joe to get out of the race. But Cindy Adams continues further before she does a follow-up piece. The Obamas are now nudging to force Slow-Mo Joe to go, drop out. It's like, who else is there? Newsom's California mismanagement and a looming $75 billion deposit is for sure no maybe. Christie, now a helium balloon, and they believe Nikki's icky. A Joe flop offers probability Michelle could wiggle in. Obama's negotiating to make that happen. Pay attention to them gurgling and burbling about the election. So she then does a follow-up piece just a few days ago. Michelle Obama may already be working on a 2024 White House bid. Coming soon, his plan. Whose plan? Oh, Obama. Around May, Biden announces he's not running, even mentally. Around May. The so-called plot is that come in the August convention, Michelle gets nominated. That would align with Cruz. The thing Cruz missed, it will be announced far before that date to make sure they get the financial support they need for Operation Destroy Trump. Next step, Hunter's father, the temp, drops out just before that convention. For now, he'll still play and act like he's a real candidate, announcing today our dodo-in-chief would have to stop quacking and becoming a lame duck, and it's why he hasn't ducked out as of yet, because his pride and ego will not allow him to act as a lame duck president. You see that with what's happening in Texas, while the rest of the country is scratching its head. But the plan is well laid beyond this. Their plan is currently being tweaked. Their mismatch bodes badly for our future. Moderates cannot override the divisiveness. What this nation needs now is a centrist, a strong, tough leader of the majority mass of independent voters. With the title of Don't Be Shocked, Michelle Obama may already be working on a 2024 White House bid. So overnight, Trump's landscape changes. He's no longer fighting Joe. What is his strategy to fight Michelle? He'll fall and mire into a series of insults, I assure you of that, when America will be looking for a very stern and resolute message, maybe about her lack of experience. But more than likely, that's what we'll face, and the strategists know that. It will be Trump's one weakness, to onslaught into a series of insults. Now, as we've heard, Obama now stating, allegedly and rumored, that Biden has to quit the 2024 race to save America and ultimately the Democratic Party. And they will protect their party. Do you think for a moment they will allow Biden to make it all the way through to the election without replacing him as their primary candidate? So what just happened to Trump? Overnight, he now has a new competitor. So, my friends, I ask you the question, is it time to panic? Is it time to celebrate? I can't wait to see your comments below. I love you all. Until next time, Godspeed and God bless Justice Knight. Signing out.